Hello, good evening. Do you ever find yourself that sometimes, like through the lockdown, you have you just kind of like you feel hungry all the time, and you always feel like that you're getting bigger and bigger, and and you've got the worry of all the weight carrying around you. Well, not just for me tonight, but for everybody out there. I've got Elizabeth Davidson, and she's going to tell me more about what she does and how she can help us. And so, anyway, good evening, Elizabeth. How are you?
Hello, Steve. I'm very well, thank you.
Okay, tell everybody what you do and how they can contact you and how you can help them.
Okay, well, my name is Lizzie, and I'm a weight and health advisor, but I'm also a primal health coach. And the primal bit is the interesting bit because I've always been into my health and fitness and my dieting ever since I was very young. And I realized about 8, 9 years ago that actually everything we've been told about weight loss and dieting is wrong. It's out of date. So I did my own research, and lo and behold, yes, everything that we've been told about how to lose weight is wrong, and it goes against your body. Dieting goes against your body rather
Right,
than working with it.
you say it's wrong. How wrong is it?
Very wrong. Very wrong. Like low fat diets are the worst thing ever. They're so damaging to health. Calorie counting itself is, well, everyone knows that's just a pain in the bum anyway. But if you're counting the wrong quality of calories, again, you're not working with a method that works with you. Those methods actually end up working against you. And that's why dieting is so very hard to do. So very
Right,
hard.
right. See, the trouble with me, I have a problem. Right, a long time ago, I lost loads of weight. I went away to boot camp, as you know. I lost a lot of weight, and I lost 11 stone in 6 months. And what happened was I came back, I had a stroke, I had a heart attack, right? And next minute, I was sitting at home doing nothing. And next minute, I thought to myself, hang on for a sec. I started eating again. But the problem was, it was continuously eating. Can you tell me um, can you tell me about it? Can you tell me what do you think was going on? Do you think it was a boredom or?
Oh, crumbs. It could have been a lot of things, really. I mean, if you were working really hard at this boot camp, um, did you have your attack while you were on that boot camp?
No, when I came home, I kind of like I the people said to me that I was rushed into it. When I went to boot camp, that was it. Everything was taken away from me. I had to automatically I went on foods that I'd never seen before. It was limited
Mm,
foods, and it was something that I was not used to.
right, okay. And I presume you were doing quite a fair amount of exercise as well.
Yes, with it, yes, yeah,
Yeah. And was that all of a sudden? Had you exercised before in that way?
no, no,
No,
no.
that's not going to help, is it? So you've got, and I presume it was a quite a highly reduced diet that you were on, reduced calories.
It was like couscous dinner time.
Okay.
Then it was like in the evening, it was meat and stuff.
What's the stuff? What kind of things were you having? What did
Sorry,
did you
not
have
stuff.
any?
Yeah, it was like jacket potato,
Yeah,
salad,
yeah,
stuff like that. And it was like, they were a proper um, boot camp fitness camp.
yeah.
But the trouble is, you know what these people are like. So
What about breakfast? Were you allowed to eat something for
yeah,
breakfast?
it was like I had Weetabix for breakfast.
Right,
So
okay.
it's like, I'll tell you what the day was. It was like 6 o'clock. You used to get up. I quickly had breakfast. We went to the gym. We done what you call HIIT, which was high
Yes, yes, high
intensity.
intensity interval training.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Then it was like we're doing battling ropes.
Oh my
It was,
goodness gracious.
yeah, it was hard work. I can show you the videos, but it was really hard work. And yes, okay, I lost all that weight in 6 months, right? But for me, it was for Michelle, for my wife, it was all right for her. But for me, because I had a disability before then, I went to boot camp and I was made the first day to go around the sports centre around about 10 times with
No,
a
it's
weight,
crazy.
yeah, with a weight jacket on.
Oh, good Lord. I mean, that's forced weight loss. And like you said, it wasn't sustainable. So when you came back home, you started to eat. Your body was probably saying that I've been, starved of calories. I've been working so hard. My body is hungry for fuel.
Yeah,
And probably the mindset thing, you just kept putting the energy back in because you were lacking energy.
yeah,
And
yeah,
unfortunately, those foods that you mentioned, couscous, jacket potatoes, Weetabix, those are all the foods that work against you when you need to diet. Because what happens is because those foods will raise your blood sugar. And if your blood sugar is high, your body will produce and release insulin to bring that blood sugar down. But all the while you have insulin in your system, your fat stores are shut down. So
right.
your body isn't able to actually access your body fat for fuel. And that drives you to eat more food. So that's why dieting by calorie counting alone, by consuming these sugars and starchy based carbohydrates, you're swimming against the tide because
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can't access your fuel to energize you. So the only other thing you can do is eat more food to get the energy in.
yeah. But the
So
trouble is, then though, see, if you're not kind of like, if you're eating too much food, you're piling the pounds on, ain't you, really? You're
Well,
piling
you
the weight
are
on.
if it's the wrong kind of food. Yes, you
Yeah,
are. I mean, you can
mm,
eat loads of protein and low starchy vegetables and low fructose fruits and healthy fats and not
mm,
gain weight
yeah.
because
See,
your body will stabilize itself.
dinner time was the worst because when they give me a little pot, it was the size like that, a
Mm.
little pot like that, with couscous in it and there's some other bits in it.
That's,
It was. I used to after that. I used to fall asleep because one, I was like out of energy, and two, my body was starving.
yeah, and this goes back to the fat being shut down again because you had the couscous, your blood sugar rose, insulin was in your system, your body and your fat stores were shut down. Your
Right.
brain didn't have any fuel either, and it makes you tired. That's where the afternoon slumps come in. I mean, if you do office work, everyone knows that slump in the afternoon after they've had their bagel, their sandwich, their
Yeah. Yeah.
wholemeal
Yeah.
wrap, you know, but 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, they need a snooze because
Yeah.
their body isn't able to access any fuel and it makes you tired.
But
Um,
soon after dinner, though, we went back into exercise again.
yeah, I mean, it's bonkers, isn't it? And just that continual exercise and not enough food. I mean, yeah, you lost 11 stone, but it's not sustainable and it does so much damage, so much hormonal damage. So when you
Right.
came back home, you were like, oh, I need to get all this food in because you were so restricted.
Yes. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
bet
Oh,
you put the weight back on plus some as well.
oh yeah. Look at me now.
Oh, it's crazy, isn't
You
it?
know. So I can show you pictures. And but the trouble is, though, what can somebody who is addicted to food do now?
Well, that is,
Because I've been like everybody else. I was hearing your talk earlier, and you were talking about Slimming World. You were talking about the other places where to go. I'm not knocking anybody. I'm not knocking
mm,
them. But what can we do now who's addicted to food like me? How can we do it? How can we sort ourselves out?
well, you will need specialist help for that because obviously there's a lot going on in your mind, and that is not my area of expertise at all. So if you do have an eating disorder or an addiction, a food addiction, you will need to get that addressed, because it doesn't matter how much I tell you, if you've got that addiction to certain foods, then anything I say isn't going to make any difference unless you start to really re-educate yourself and realize what these foods are doing. You know,
Oh yeah,
then you
yeah,
can really make a proper judgment as to whether you want to consume that. I mean, yeah, a lot of mindset as well. I mean,
yeah.
you really need to be ready to give it a good go. I mean, when you joined that boot camp, you must have felt, I'm really.
Then though, I reckon it was all for the media, uh, right? It was all for the media. This boot camp was getting money to be paid for us to be at this boot camp,
Oh my goodness gracious.
right?
Okay.
So they were getting all the work and everything. Long story. I'm not going to go into that. But what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say is, is we live in an obesity world now. You
It's
know,
huge.
it's huge, right? And I complain about obesity because I'm going through it myself. That's why I do it. Now, the trouble is, there's a lot of people out there, like yourself, who's kind of like supporting people like ourselves. So, in your area, how can you help somebody?
Right. Okay. Well, I do know that all those foods you mentioned on that boot camp, they are addictive. Now, if you could slowly reduce the intake of those foods down, then the likelihood is you will be able to resist the cravings for those food. Wheat is notorious for causing cravings, and it's because wheat has an opioid-like properties, and your brain loves it. Your brain loves sugar, and it loves these opioid-like properties, and it really is addictive.
Hmm.
So if you can slowly bring that down, not dramatically, because obviously you want to trick your body into thinking it's still getting a treat, bring that down over a period of time, and your cravings for those foods, and maybe even the addiction to those foods, will be reduced.
Right.
Because if you
Okay.
slowly take it out, because at the moment, all the while you're eating those foods, your body is looking for it. Whoa, quick calories, you know, oh yeah, I need that food. Your brain is
Yeah.
like, give me that
Yeah.
food. If you
Yeah.
take it out,
It's like me, right? Night. It's like me, right? You were right earlier when you were saying about night times. Now, night times is I eat is my worst evening,
yeah,
right? I'm kind of like I tell you what I eat. I love seafood, so I get mussels out, right? I'll eat some mussels.
fantastic. That's good.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. I have mussels, but then after a while, I say to my wife, I say, right, got any chocolate, darling, right? And it's like, oh no, I'm back to square one again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think what we need to be, I think if we really want to go on a diet and lose weight, I think we've got to be honest.
Without doubt. Without a doubt, you have to be honest. You have to be honest to yourself as well. So a lot
Yeah,
of accountability will come in, because and certainly something as well, if you shout your intentions from the rooftop, they need to be achievable. If you set yourself a goal, it needs to be achievable. And then you
yeah,
shout it from the rooftop, you publish it, you broadcast it, whatever you do, get that goal, achievable goal out there,
yeah.
and then hold yourself accountable to what you said. But
Right.
everything has to be small goals. And also, don't take something out, like your chocolate, for example. I would say to you, well, don't take your chocolate out. Start to reduce it down, but also then start to replace it with better chocolate. So 85% cocoa chocolate or above will be a fantastic replacement for that.
Right. Okay. How about these slimming bars?
Oh, low calorie, low fat,
Yeah.
rubbish.
Yeah.
No, it's rubbish. It's rubbish food. You've got poor quality oils going in there as well. You've got artificial sweeteners. Those two things as well can affect your weight loss,
Right.
because artificial sweeteners play with your gut bugs, which messes up your metabolism. and what else did I mention? Artificial, processed oils such as sunflower. That is a really poor quality oil. Those oils are damaged, and what happens is the damaged oil then binds with the enzymes that help to break down your body fat for fuel. So artificial sweeteners and poor quality oils get in the way of your weight loss, and you'll find those in diet foods. You will.
Right. Okay. So people are at certain weights, kind of like in their kind of sorry. There's so many people at certain weight levels. Some people are
Yeah.
like 12, 13, 14, and they go up to 32 stone, right? Or more than that. Now, how can you, if someone's around about like 38 stone, 32 stone, what do you suggest to that person to lose weight?
I would obviously I would want to know what it was they were eating, and start to replace the worst foods with better choices. That will be the first thing, because suddenly if you take certain foods away, you are going to miss it.
Oh yeah, of
So
course you do.
you need to replace it with something better.
Yeah.
So you pick maybe the worst two foods, say it's crisps and chocolate, so use them. There's loads of other stuff going on, but those two, or maybe even one at a time. Okay, let's get a hold of this crisp thing you've got going on and
Right.
find alternatives for that. And then maybe tackle the chocolate, find an alternative for the chocolate. It would have to be, but that's what makes these goals then achievable,
Yeah.
doable. They're small.
See, the trouble is, though, people kind of like they try to get off their diet so quick, don't they? You know,
Yeah.
it's like Slimming World. You pay a prescription with some Slimming World, and they give you a book, and they say, right, don't eat that, don't eat this, and and you keep going back, paying them the money and everything.
Mm.
Then the next minute, what I saw at Slimming World is that people are eating chocolate in the corner.
I know,
Or
but that's
Chris.
allowed.
Or
But
Chris.
they're allowed. That's the bonkers thing, Steve. Those foods are still allowed in Slimming World.
But
And all
why?
the I don't know. It's crazy. And that's what I mean. Those slimming clubs, they work for some, they don't work for a lot. And it's because they're swimming against the tide. They're still eating the foods which caused them the weight in the first place. And it's shutting down your fat stores, you're drained of energy, and you're still feeding that craving. You're
Yeah,
still
yeah.
feeding that craving. So it would have to be a slow reduction of the foods which your body is addicted to.
Right,
But
okay.
don't forget, I mean, the government dietary guidelines at this moment in time is to consume 6 to 11 servings of starchy based foods. Those are the foods that are number one causing weight gain, poor health, and are addictive. And the government is telling people to consume that 6 to 11 servings. That's a lot.
It is, yeah. Yeah.
And it's unnecessary. You don't need that much.
I know. It's getting ridiculous, but the trouble is, it's a lot of people are coming it's a lot of people's coming from lockdown now and they're overweight, and the surgery, I'll try to ring up my surgery today just to sort out my insulin, and it took us about 4 hours to get through to somebody. And
Yeah.
the message was like, sorry, but we get 500 and 600 calls a day,
Yeah.
not a week, a day, because everybody's come out of lockdown, and they're kind of like, and they're still behind,
Yeah,
on everything.
absolutely.
Yeah. What I wanted to ask you too is this: is in your job when you give people advice about like weight loss or how to eat properly.
Hmm.
What do you actually do? Do you actually give them a recipe, or do you give them an ebook, or what do you do?
They actually get an approved food list to start
Right.
off with. They also
Okay.
get a chance to look at the foods which they should avoid.
Right.
But I always tell them, don't concentrate on those foods. Concentrate on the list of approved foods. And there's loads you can eat. especially a
Right.
primal aligned, which is my speciality. But they also get meal ideas. So obviously the meal ideas comes with recipes as well. And also if they're really stuck, if they're like, I really don't know where to start, they can use, I've got a 7-day meal plan that they can use with a shopping list.
All right.
So
Okay.
if they really like, I've got no idea where to start, then they follow the 7-day meal plan, because all of the meals in the plan are high in protein, high in fat. Those are the nutrients that keep you fuller for longer. You've got loads of low starchy veggies in there, so you've got loads of fiber going in as well. And those are all the foods that keep you fuller for longer. And the low starchy carbs replace the starchy carbs like pasta, rice, and potato.
Right.
So you still get the carbs, but they're in a low starchy carbohydrates. So predominantly veggies that are grown above the ground, and
Yeah.
you can eat raw, like you couldn't eat a raw potato. So there's a sign, during weight loss, don't touch potatoes.
Why is
But
that then?
because they're high in starch.
Are they?
Yeah, they're high in starch, which is the carbohydrate, and they may raise your blood sugar.
I never knew that.
Yeah, no, but potatoes are fantastic. They're a beautiful, lovely root vegetable, but all the while you want to get your weight down, minimize or avoid potato. Same with
All
rice.
right.
The effect can be the same. Rice, pasta, bread food, potatoes, and other root tubers. Best to avoid them.
Right. Do you supply people with products too?
No, I don't,
No.
because my primal aligned guidance is whole natural food from your local shops.
Yeah.
So it's all about
Well
the quality.
done.
Quality
Well done.
starts to matter.
Yeah. Because these people, these other people, what they do is they sell all these pills and
Yeah.
shakes and stuff, and I'm thinking it don't work.
No, it
Waste of
doesn't.
money.
It doesn't, Steve. It doesn't work. And you're not really. All you're doing is you're just filling the gap. What
Yeah.
happens
Yeah.
when your milkshakes end? What happens when your the little cereal bars end? It's all their food, all calorie counting, but you'll have the artificial sweeteners, you'll have the poor quality fat, and you don't have the nutrients in there like protein and fat, which keep you fuller for longer. It's a big money-making scheme. All of it is.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you something, Steve, that is not going to change anytime soon, unfortunately. I mean, look at the NHS recently, the meal replacement strategy for diabetics. It's shakes and soups and bars.
Yeah,
Seriously.
that's what. Apparently they're gonna bring in a new law now for people like me who's obese. They're going to give us shakes.
Law? That's crazy.
Yes, they're going to bring in a law in. Don't forget, I do a lot of obesity campaigning and stuff like that, and I get all the latest news in. And what they're trying to say now is that they say, right, we're going to give everybody a gym pass, a free gym pass. Fair enough. Fair enough. But I'll come back to that in a minute. Number two, they're going to give everybody shakes, right, on prescription, and meal replacements. Right? So that's more.
Is this the 800 calorie one that we're talking about that was just in the newspaper recently?
No, this is something different.
Oh, right, okay.
So this is what
NHS though.
Sorry?
NHS.
Yeah, NHS, yeah. Sorry, what did you say?
People with diabetes.
Yeah, especially people with diabetes, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's crackers. And it will be calorie reduced as well. But again, if you've got good quality calories, you don't need to reduce your calories. Some people come off of a diet, eat more of the better quality food, the right food, and they lose weight.
Right, yeah.
It goes back to that sugar spike, insulin, fat shutdown. It's stashing all the food away, and there's so much hormonal damage being done with these calorie reduced diets. So much damage. I mean, look at the nation, Steve. That most of the nation is overweight. because they're being told to consume 6 to 11 servings of starchy-based products. I mean, they're asking for trouble, but that won't change. That will not change.
Yeah.
They're all connected. It's big food company and pharma, you know, big pharma, big food, government. It's all linked. And it is. I mean, read what you want into it, but without a doubt, it's all linked, and nothing is going to change soon. There are only 10 big food companies out there, and they are in control. They are totally in control. So nothing is going to change soon.
It's like, I don't know if do you have children at all? Do you have any children?
I don't.
No. Well, child obesity, right? Let's go to child obesity. Now, the trouble is with child obesity at the moment, people are saying they're blaming the parents. You know, they get up in the morning, they're giving them a lot of rubbish. I'm just going to say crap. They're giving them a lot of
crap, because it is.
Give them crap, right? The goal is to go, they've got a packed lunch in there, and in there, chocolate bar, whatever, and things like that. And I know someone who is around about, I think I was speaking to somebody, 11 years old he is now, and he's around about, I think it was about 9 stone something,
right.
9-10 stone. And the trouble is, though, see, you know, it's all down to, it's like people say, oh, do we blame the parents? You know, do we blame the parents? What do you reckon?
Oh, it's a tricky one. I kind of want to say yes, but it isn't their fault because they're not being educated around good quality food. Where's the education? Everything is in a packet. Everything is in a packet these days for convenience and cheapness.
Yeah.
But the parents aren't, you know, they're not getting any help. Where would they get help from? Who would give that?
Yeah.
But all the world, these big food, everything is in a plastic packet these days.
Yeah, but I've written something for the Times the other week. No, not the Times. The Times. Right? I've said something to the Times the other week. I said, number one, I said, well, it's up to the parents what to give their children, if it's going to be healthy or not. Right? Then the next minute he said to me, but what do you think about these children are overweight? And I said, look, it's up to, you know, it's what they put in their mouths. Who gives them the food to put in their mouths? And sometimes we've got to go back to the parents.
Well, it has to be, because a young child doesn't feed itself. The parents feed it. But then the parents, like I've mentioned, you know, unfortunately, they're uneducated. And I don't mean that in a rude manner. But because the food companies are saying, eat this, it's healthy. Cereals, eat cereals, they're healthy. They're fortified with vitamins and minerals because these cereals actually strip your body of nutrients. But you're not told that. Sunflower oil, it's healthy because it's not saturated. Crap! It's really bad for your health. It's damaged oils. But it's the food companies, consume this because it's not saturated. Big food almost rule. They almost rule. And whatever they want, they will get.
Yeah, I know. It's really bad. You know, also what I want to ask you is this. If through what you do about helping people and everything, what's the success rate?
On my primal, if they follow my guidance, so far 100%.
100%.
100%. There's only been one lady who didn't lose as much as she wanted to lose, and that was simply because she had a lot of stress going on. So I worked with her to start bringing her stress down. She started losing. 100%, Steve. And I'll tell you why it works. It's because it's the natural diet we should be eating.
Yeah.
You take the processed stuff, the processed crap, you take it out. Whether you do that slowly or you jump in, you do it. There's no calorie counting. There's no weighing. It's all about using natural, good quality food, which we are supposed to be eating. And we're not supposed to be eating food out of packets, powdered this, jarred sauces. No, we're not supposed to be eating that. I've got a couple, I've got quite a few actually, ex-Slimming Club people, male and female, on my books. And they're like, oh, we can see this is really different. And one lady, within two weeks, lost a stone. She's gone on to lose 2 stone. And she said to me, Lizzie, this is a fantastic way to lose weight because it's sustainable and it's effective and it's almost effortless. Because again, the foods which I advise my guys to consume keep you fuller for longer, protein and fat. You don't do any low fat nonsense with me, because it's the healthy fats and proteins which keep you fuller for longer to save you snacking.
Yeah, I know.
Hand on my heart, apart from that one lady, 100%. Those that have followed it, 100%.
Yeah.
Some people jumped on and jumped off again because they weren't ready. You have to be ready. You need to know your why, and you have to be ready. And if you give it your all, if they follow my guidance, 100%.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people talking about yo-yo diets, isn't it?
Yeah.
And everything. And there's since the lockdown, how's your people been coping with the lockdown? It must be hard for them.
No,
not at all.
No, because they've loved the new way of eating. They've loved it because it's bringing foods back into their diet. They were told they can't eat cheese, cheese, and people love a bit of cheese. You can eat cheese as long as it's good quality and you don't go overboard, but you can eat cheese. So everyone that I'm working with just now throughout lockdown have continued to do well.
Okay. And
a lot of their cravings have gone as well. A lot of people are like, I see a cake now, I see biscuits, but I don't think I want to eat it. They're all right. And it is that craving, that connection, that addiction. But it's the foods, it's wheat-based and sugar.
And that's what I want to talk about on another date.
Okay.
About cravings.
Right.
If that's okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth.
You're very welcome.
It's nice to see you and meet you again.
Thank you.
And it's been really nice.
Yeah, I've enjoyed that.
Thank you very much. I'll see you again. We've got to do this a weekly thing, I reckon.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later on. See you later, Elizabeth. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. And that was Elizabeth for you. See you later on. Bye-bye. Sorry, that was